Top 20 Charles Darwin Quotes. Charles Robert Darwin was an English naturalist, geologist, biologist, and author of The Origin of Species. A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. The love for all living creatures is the most noble attribute of man. I am not apt to follow blindly the lead of other men. The mystery of the beginning of all things is insoluble by us, and I, for one, must be content to remain an agnostic. A moral being is one who is capable of reflecting on his past actions and their motives of approving of some and disapproving of others. I love fools' experiments. I am always making them. The very essence of instinct is that it's followed independently of reason. If the misery of the poor be caused not by the laws of nature, but by our institutions, great is our sin. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. We must, however, acknowledge, as it seems to me, that man, with all his noble qualities, still bears in his bodily frame the indelible stamp of his lowly origin. An American monkey, after getting drunk on brandy, would never touch it again, and thus is much wiser than most men. I have tried lately to read Shakespeare, and found it so intolerably dull that it nauseated me. Man tends to increase at a greater rate than his means of subsistence. I am turned into a sort of machine for observing facts and grinding out conclusions. Intelligence is based on how efficient a species became at doing the things they need to survive. I am not apt to follow blindly the lead of other men. How paramount the future is to the present when one is surrounded by children. The highest possible stage in moral culture is when we recognize that we ought to control our thoughts. I am turned into a sort of machine for observing facts and grinding out conclusions. The very essence of instinct is that it's followed independently of reason.